the greatest of creation sallallahu alaihi wasallam left this dunya, he had 11 patches upon his clothes. Today in Trinidad, in an island, we remember Umar ibn Abdul Aziz because these people were heavy in the scales of Allah. From Iraq to China, from the Caucasus to the depths of Africa, he ruled, and he's passing away. And his wife and somebody says to his wife, change his clothes. Amir al-Mu'mineen is passing away. She remains quiet. He says again, change his clothes. Amir al-Mu'mineen is passing away. Remains quiet. And the third time the man says it angrily. He said, can't you see the man's dying? Change his clothes. How are you letting him die like this? And she said, I swear by Allah, these are the only clothes that he has. These are the only clothes that he has. But the man left a legacy. He left something behind him. And I ask you, how will me and you be when the greatest of creation sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when Umar went into the home of Aisha, this house was the house of Aisha, the beloved of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he looks around and there's virtually no materialistic goods, virtually nothing. And his tears begin to flow. And he says, O Messenger of Allah, look at the opulence that the Romans and the Persians live in. And the Prophet ﷺ was sitting down, and he sat up. He said, oh Umar, even you? Umar, even you, don't you understand that my example is like a person, a traveler who takes rest under a tree. You don't make the tree your permanent home. This is not our permanent home. Our permanent home is that which is by Allah. That which is by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, that is my example. A person who takes shelter and some rest under a tree and then he moves on. And this had amazing bearing on Umar ibn al-Khattab. Umar became Amir al-Mu'mineen. He became Amir al-Mu'mineen. And one day Hafsa radiyallahu anha, she came in and she looked at the simplicity which Umar lived. And she said, oh my father, Allah has given us great wealth today. Why are you living in this simplicity? We are the most powerful people, the richest people on the face of this earth. And Umar radiyallahu anhu said, oh Hafsa, remind me of the house of the Messenger of Allah. And he began to remind her until she broke down into tears. And Umar radiyallahu anhu said, I have two companions who went before me, the Messenger of Allah and Abu Bakr, and that is the path that I will trod. That is the path that I will trod. When Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu anhu went to Sham, and he's sitting with Khalid bin Walid, and there was food that he had never seen before, and Umar began to cry, and Khalid said, oh Amir al-Mu'mineen, why are you crying? And Umar radiyallahu anhu said, look at those who came before us. Those Sahaba who have passed away, they didn't see these foods. They didn't have these luxuries. And Khalid bin Walid radiyallahu anhu said, oh Amir al-Mu'mineen, for them is Jannah. For them is Jannah. And Umar turned to Khalid and he said, what a raw deal then. What a raw deal. For them is Jannah, for us is food. We are happy with what we have. And this is why, and sisters, as believers, we have this short life. It's a life of investment. That we invest in our hereafter. You look at the life of the Prophet ﷺ, the Sahaba radiyallahu anhum. They were people who invested in the hereafter. These people weren't shallow people. These people were deep people. Materialistic goods didn't make a difference to them. And I'm not saying you can't have a house or a nice car, but that wasn't their priority in life. Today, somebody buys a new Range Rover and he's got friends that he never knew of. You respecting him for what? Now, think about it. You respecting the man for a piece of metal? And all of a sudden, his respect in the community goes up. You buy a house, a big house, and all of a sudden, your respect and your street cred goes up. What you respecting the man for? For bricks? Is this what this ummah has come to? This was never the criteria by Allah. This was never the criteria. The criteria was people's taqwa, people's khair. What kind of personality is he? What fikr does he have for the community? What fikr does he have for humanity? How can this ummah, which Allah created for the akhirah, be impressed by metal, by rubber, by bricks? This cannot happen. We were created for a bigger purpose.